Alright, so I'm working on an extension today. We're going to be doing the lockup. Before I start jumping into the work though, I just want to do a little walkthrough of this job. The frame's already done by a different company, and there's some really cool features I want to have a look at, and this is potentially one of the coolest jobs I've ever worked on. For starters, I'm upstairs right now, and we've actually got a lot of work to do in here for the lockup. Firstly, we can see the rafters up there are going to be exposed. I think we're going through... I might need to double check for upstairs, but we are doing timber lining boards downstairs. I'm not sure if we're actually plastering in there or doing timber lining boards. But continuing through this way into the master, we firstly have the double curve entering into the room, and we're going to be doing ply on all these walls. Now, I think the way it's going to work is for these straight walls, there's going to be 8mm ply on them. For the curves, I think what we're going to do is be using 4mm structural ply going around on it, and then we've got another bit of material going on top of it, which has a 1mm laminate, which is going to give us the cool ply look that we're going for, while still making those walls strong. But the one thing I just love about the framing in here is firstly we've got all the curves, but we've also got the rafters running in a different direction to the wall. And I just love how neat of a job they've done running this wall through all of those rafters. I think it's so often in the building industry that you see a lot of videos of people complaining about work, showing dodgy work. It's not often that it goes the other way. And just walking onto this job and seeing the details and how neat everything is, you can just see this is such a well done frame. Now we'll jump downstairs, I'll show you what we're actually working on today. Some of our boys have already been here and they've started doing the timber cladding down at the bottom. I'm going to be jumping on and doing a few walls. But if we have a look in the downstairs area, we've got the same just insane curve features everywhere. On top of that, in here we definitely are going through, we're going to be doing timber lining boards hard up to those floor joists. And we've got these exposed beams. This is a big, I think that's a 580mm LVL. The biggest LVL I've ever seen. And they've gone up and decided to use these huge LVLs everywhere instead of steel, because they are going to be exposed. So I think we've got quite a few in here right now. They have all been wrapped up because they are going to be exposed, and we do want to protect them until this house is cladded. But I'm going to jump onto some of the shiplap boards right now. We are going through cladding the house. But the one interesting thing about this job is, as we can see, we're doing the cladding without any windows being installed yet. So for all these boards, we've got just a 15-degree cut on the bottom, sealing the bottoms as well, so that if any water runs down on these boards, it's not going to sit there and go into the end grain, it should drip off. So I'm getting this board flush with the one next to it. We'll hit it in. But then we've also got this laser set up at 1605, and we're just going to make sure that when we hook onto that board, it needs to go up by 1mm, but we're just making sure that works well with that laser there. For the height, we're just running them to the top there. And then it's just going to be a fascia, timber fascia, directed into the end of those rafters, and it's going to come over the board slightly. So that top line isn't too important. We're just making sure we get this bottom one down here perfect. Could I get that 2-meter, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You trying to get the 2 of yourself?
Oh. I actually don't know what I did. I think I went to hit the board and I hit my ladder. Thank you.
That's okay.
Sweet. So what we're doing here is quite unique. I've never gone through and done cladding before having the windows in. Normally what you would do is have the window in, and then you'd have a flashing going over the window, and your cladding would run down onto that. I've actually got the window reveals here, so once we've gone through and finished this wall, I'm going to show you exactly how the windows are going to work. Right now though, I'm just getting these top boards to finish in a level line above the window, because you will see them when they're done, and I'm grabbing the level to make sure the top board and the bottom board runs plumb with each other. Because obviously by the time we get to the end of the window, we're going to have a full length shiplap board going the whole way up, and we're just going to make sure it matches up with the top and the bottom. Since this is an extension we're working on, these boards are going to run through into the existing brick. Unfortunately, the brick was cut down and it's not a perfectly straight line, so what I'm going to do is cut this board down, and there's going to be a few mil of a gap most of the way, and then just going to go through and caulk that at the end. This is also my first time using DeWalt's table saw. One of the boys on site had this thing out and it was a beast. Normally what I would do is get a saw guide up and just manually try to go through and get this cut. And I went a bit slow during this cut because it was my first time using the table saw, but it came up a treat at the end. Alright, so we've gone through, we've cladded this wall the whole way through, and I've never seen windows done like this before. So obviously it's all cladded, there's no window in. What we're going to do is actually get a track saw and need to cut this down perfectly, and we're going to be putting another board returning through in there. Now I've got the little profiles on what's actually going to happen with these windows. That's going to be the bottom of it. So we've got a little flashing that goes over our boards there. For the side though, this is what we're going to have. So picture another board running through in there. This is going to sit on it, and that's the finished detail. That's done. We'll screw through that little groove in there, and then they're going to put the glass hard up into that. So by the time it's done, the cladding is going to wrap around into the window, and there's pretty much going to be no window jam. Now it looks pretty cool there. This is obviously the dead side of the house that I was working on. But what's going to be so grand is the main front bit here. Obviously we've got just windows running in line with each other. We've got these exposed, I think is that a 190 or 240? We've got these exposed beams here, and they're all going to be seen. Obviously our windows are going to go like that, and you're going to have that exposed beam on either side. Now on top of that, the detail going into this job is through the roof. It's insane. Because there's a double beam, the builder's actually gone through, screwed them off everywhere. Same as up here with these beams, we can see we've got screws almost every 300 mil running through there. And by the time the windows are in and we've locked up with everything, we're going to be going through and putting all these plugs in. So these plugs are going to go into those holes, they'll get glued in there, and then we'll go through, sand them back, and it's just going to be a seamless finish by the time it's done. So the builder's gone through, he's cut these out of the exact same beams that we've used everywhere. We've just got them in storage for now, but that's just a level of detail that's going in on this job. Alright, so we've got a few boards that we're chucking on here, and I'm just going to take you through the process and give you a little bit more details on what we're doing. To start with, I'm checking this at the bottom of the wall. It looks like a flashing, but it's actually to block off the cavity so no large bugs or insects can get in there. You can see with the battens we're using, they do have these grooves in them, and the whole reason for that is so that the battens don't block the airflow, and that the air can still move up and down through the wall past the battens. Now there's quite a few unusual details about this job. Obviously the stud to my left, that's where the glass panel is going to go into for the sliding door. That is going to be exposed, and we can see underneath the cladding board as well. We've got a bottom plate running the whole way through there. That is also true to timber, it's going to be exposed. One thing I am doing though is putting a 5mm plastic packer between that bottom plate and my board. That bottom plate does have a bit of fall on it, so if water lands in that, it is going to drain off. But we still don't want my board to be hard down or even close to it, because the water could go up into the end grain of the shiplap board I'm putting on. So we've got that gap there as a precaution. Obviously the gap also lets air flow in and out between that cavity, and we still got that little aluminium flasher we put on before as well, which does have the air vents letting the air flow in and out. So I'm using a plastic packer at the bottom of the board to get that height, but I'm also going through and using a couple of packers on the left hand side between the board and the stud. The reason I'm using packers in here and that I want a gap in here is they are going to go through and caulk it. And having that gap means the caulk's actually going to go in between the timber and the stud, and that's going to make a thicker bit of caulk, meaning it's going to be more solid and less chance of that falling out or breaking in the future. Alright, if you're paying attention, you would have noticed I've just made a mistake and missed one of the important details in installing these boards. So I'm taking this one off, we're going to have to redo it. But I forgot to put the glue on the battens. I was so preoccupied with getting all the heights right, packing everything in the spaces, getting it all good. So instead this board's coming off, which isn't too bad. We've only done the one board. And we are using liquid nails, just going on the battens, which are going to help secure the boards in place on top of the screws that we're using. Dude, what the fuck?
Buddy. Speaking of bitches. Okay, for the lot. It's not back, you can see it. Pull out.
Now we are going through and screwing through the groove. So you're not going to see any of the screws for the boards apart from the first one and the last one for every run. For the first one, we are just going through face screwing them, which you can see there. For the rest of the boards though, they are going to be secret screwed, and you just got to get them in the perfect place. If you go a little bit too far to the left, it's going to be in the groove and you will see the screw. But the other concern is if you go a little bit too far right, you're actually going to go through the tongue, and then when you go to put the next board on and try to hit it in, it won't go flush in, and it just causes a world of problems. You start getting boards out of plumb, you start getting gaps that are too big. So whenever we pre-drill these, we are going on a slight angle just to make sure that the screw goes in the perfect place. Now whenever you're doing any boards like this, you're obviously going to be going through making sure the plumb, but the bigger concern I have is making sure it's parallel with this end stud I'm running them up into. This end stud I'm measuring to actually was out by just a couple of mil. It wasn't a big deal, but I actually made sure that my board started to go slightly out of plumb to make sure that they ran parallel with this end bit of timber. End of the day, if something's slightly out of plumb, you're not going to notice it. But if something's running out of parallel to another bit of timber or another straight line, that's going to be the bigger problem. You're definitely going to notice that. If you can, definitely go through and fix everything then. But at this stage, the frame's done, everything's connected, we're not going to be able to straighten that. And sometimes carpentry comes down to working out what you can fix and what you can't. And when you can't fix something, you got to work out the next best option to make everything else look as good as possible. Now I've only been here just for a little bit. I helped out with this wall, obviously just did that, and then helped out with some boards at the top there. That's all pretty simple and straightforward. And this is the little detail we have here as well. We've obviously got these right angle brackets holding up these beams. They're going to be exposed. So this is a finished look, the final look of them. We've kept those as a feature. We could have gone through, kept the board going over it, but that's a nice feature, showing off those right angle brackets everywhere. And these boards aren't going to get stained. We're going to leave them out there so they get weathered. And in a few months, they're going to go a bit grayer and just give this really good natural timber finish to the house. Now, I am hopefully going to be here in a few weeks, jumping in on the external lockup. So I'll be here as we go through to the lining boards on the ceiling, and then also as we work upstairs and do that ply sheet wrapping around the curves, which is unlike anything I've done before. And I was almost going to have that as the main video, just locking up and doing the finished touches in this frame. But most of the work I do is frames. Actually being here and seeing such a sick frame that someone else has built, I just wanted to do this video, show obviously the cladding we're putting on, but then just show the detail that's gone into this frame. I'm in the laundry right now, and this is just going to be a sick room when it's done. We're going to have a bench over here, which runs in line there. We have a bench running through here. Obviously you got your dryer, your washing machine, and we just got this deep bench going all the way around, wrapping around that curve, and that just gives you good space to put your laundry basket on, chuck anything up there. But it's such a unique, different design for a house. The curves are definitely in style right now, and it's going to look awesome when it's done, but I just almost prefer seeing it at this stage and seeing all the craftsmanship that's gone into it. Now, same as upstairs, we're going to have the same detail with the windows. We're going to have our timber cladding boards put down at the bottom, also at the top. But these are just going to be glass panels going through in between all the timber beams. And then I'm really keen to come in here and see the finish of the ensuite. Obviously, we've got this internal curve here as well. This is going to be where the vanity goes. But in this corner, I'm pretty sure we've got the shower, which is going to be there, and then a bath coming in here as well. Once again, another awesome window there. and we've got a curved wall. The curved wall just goes the whole way through here, and this curve actually continues through onto the external side. So we've got a little curve in there. You can see the roofers came through, and they had to do a bit of a hut with their flashing to make that work. And the boys I'm working with have already gone through and cladded over that little curve down there, which is quite a minimal curve compared to everything else we've got going on. But this job just has details in every corner. We've got the curves, the exposed rafters, the feature ply. Well, I can't wait to get back here and finish the internal lockup and see this thing when it's done.